Ladies and gentlemen, did the Chiefs find the Holy Grail in the 2025 NFL Draft? I'm your host, Gary McKenzie. Welcome to today's show. And what the heck do I mean by the Holy Grail? No, I'm not talking about the goblet at the Last Supper. I am talking about the trifecta of qualities that almost guarantee that a draft prospect will have a successful NFL career. So what are these three things that make up the Holy Grail or make up this trifecta for NFL draft picks? The first is, did they have good college tape? The second is, were they productive in college? The third is, does their athletic matrix, does their athletic capability have elite standards across the board? These three criteria are the Holy Grail for draft picks. You want draft picks to have these three things, and if they do, they are more likely to succeed than any other player. And how do I know this? I know this because I spent years creating machine learning algorithms to try to predict players who would be successful in the NFL draft. And time again, if these three criteria were met, the player would end up being a good player in the NFL much more frequently than they would if they did not have those three criteria. So I want to go through each pick in the Chiefs draft and talk about how they fit this trifecta. If they do, if they don't, where do they fall short? And then what do I think their ceiling is? So starting with the Chiefs' number one draft pick, Josh Simmons. And unfortunately for him, he was not able to participate in the combine fully. He was not able to put his metrics on tape, put his metrics down on paper. And because of that, we know that his tape is good, his production was incredible, and the metrics are a big question mark. So I cannot guarantee you that Josh Simmons is going to play well in the NFL only because we do not know what his athletic metrics are post-injury. So if Josh Simmons comes back and he has a very strong knee, his recovery is awesome, he comes back the way he was before he got hurt, I think he's a lock to be a long-term starter in the NFL and play at a very high level. So Josh Simmons has two of the three out of the trifecta. Omar Norman Lott. Dan just did the tape guide for Norman Lott, so if you haven't checked that out, go watch it. It's very insightful. And the takeaway I had from Norman Lott's tape through Dan's evaluation and some of my evaluation is that it's okay. It's not lights out. I'm not saying this is a plus for Norman Lott. It's just a neutral. It's okay. His production, on the other hand, was very consistent. He was pressuring the quarterback all the time when he was on the field. The problem was he was not playing a majority of the snaps. So when he came in on third down to pressure the quarterback or in obvious passing situations, he was very successful. And he was successful because he had a unique athletic composition. So Omar Norman Lott's just a little shy of 300 pounds, and you would think that the player playing defensive interior would have very strong frame, very strong upper body, but this is not the case. Norman Lott has elite burst. His broad jump, his burst metrics are very good, but his strength is terrible. He only did 19 reps. I say only 19 reps. That's at 225. It's compared to mortal man, that's quite a lot. But for a defensive interior player, that was the 7th percentile. So 93% of defensive tackles or defensive interior players in the draft had a better bench press than Omar Norman Lott. He's also undersized for playing defensive interior at 291 pounds. So for me, Norman Lott's tape is okay. His production is definitely a positive. And his metrics are, iffy. He doesn't have elite burst with elite strength. He just has elite burst. So I think this is a little bit of a rough look for Norman Lott coming out of the draft. Ashton Gelati I thought was interesting. So his tape was pretty good. I would kind of put it maybe on the same level of Omar Norman Lott's. It was okay, maybe a little better than okay. His production, on the other hand, I'm putting a green check mark next to Ashton Gelati's production. He had 11 sacks in 2023. He fell off a little bit in 2024, but 11 sacks is a lot over the course of a season, especially in college football. And so he also has pretty good metrics. His vertical jump was in the top 85%. His broad jump was in the top 77%. His three-cone was in the top 90%. His size is pretty good for an edge, especially in Spag's system, 6'3", 275. And so Ashton Gelati is a player that I am actually pretty high on based on these three metrics. In fact, I'm a little higher on Ashton Gelati than I am on Omar Norman Lott. Moving on to Noel Williams. Noel Williams' tape is great. Production was great. Did an excellent job intercepting the ball during his college career. The problem with Noel Williams, and the reason he fell to the third round, is because his athletic metrics are not good. He had bottom 50%. He was bottom 50% in nearly all athletic metrics, except for size and strength. He has good size and good strength, which, if you know Steve Spagnuolo, he wants to do some press man coverage on the outside, and you need size and strength to do that. So Ashton Gelati being able to, Noel Williams being able to have that size and strength is going to help him in Spags' system. Moving on to Jalen Royals. Dan, our very own Dan Harms, is very high on Jalen Royals, and I am somewhat high on Jalen Royals. I'm excited to see how he pans out. I have this tape marked as good to okay, okay to good. His production was pretty good. If he didn't get hurt last year, he was on pace to have put up a monster season at Utah State. His metrics are a mixed bag. He has elite 10-yard splits and a very good 40 time. So he has good quickness in the 10-yard split. He has a good 40 time. However, his physical traits, such as his arm length, his hand size, a couple other things, he is just not as, oh my gosh, things are going crazy. He is just not as athletic. He just doesn't have the same body composition that you would want to see from other bigger wide receivers. So that's the only place where he's lacking in size. The speed is good. The size is not so good. So Jalen Royals, to me, I like the pick, but he doesn't have that holy grail. He doesn't have that trifecta. In addition to that, we have Jeffrey Bassa, and I did not even evaluate him on this front because I have no idea how Spagnuolo is going to use him. He's definitely like a tweener for a linebacker. Maybe he's going to play like that hybrid role where you're kind of a linebacker, more of a pass defending linebacker. But I'm unsure how he's going to be used. Now, watch Bassa be the best player the Chiefs take in this draft. I would be surprised if that was the case. But we'll see how he's used. I'm curious to see how he's used. Moving on to Brashard Smith. Brashard Smith's tape was pretty good, especially at SMU. His production at SMU was awesome. He had 1,332 rushing yards, 14 touchdowns rushing, and then 327 receiving yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. That's pretty dang good. Regarding his metrics, he has elite high-end speed, so that's a good sign. But his burst is not very good, particularly in the 10-yard split, the three-cone, the broad jump, the vertical jump. This is not very good, especially for a player of his size. You're a running back under 200 pounds. You better be good at all these things. So this is the reason Brashard Smith fell to the 7th round. Even though he had awesome production, awesome tape, it's just that for his size, he didn't have the athleticism you would want to see. Good high-end speed, great high-end speed, but the other areas are lacking. So Brashard Smith also does not have this perfect trifecta of, the three things you want to see in terms of a player coming into the draft finding success early on. Moving on to one undrafted free agent in Jake Brittingstool. Dan is also very high on Jake Brittingstool. His tape checks out, is very good. His production was mid, in my opinion. He had around 500 yards in 2023 and 2024. And then the metrics are just bad. He was the 17th most athletic tight end in the 2025 draft. So the metrics were bad, but I will say that he has a good head on his shoulders and is very cerebral. He played in many different offensive systems and was able to figure them out. He has a high football IQ, which I think that a good football IQ can oftentimes make up for some athletic deficiencies. But looking at the Chiefs draft class, and I think this goes along the board with saying that the Chiefs had issues, or not the Chiefs, but the draft as a whole had issues with high-end talent. There were really only 17 first-round picks in terms of talent, according to a lot of draft pundits, including our very own crew here at RGR Football. And I'm seeing this reflected in the draft picks that the Chiefs made. They don't have a guy that jumps off the board at me where I'm like, yes, I think that guy's going to be very productive in the NFL. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but this is just the way I see it. I think the Chiefs' best chances for players to really make a splash in the NFL are Ashton Gelati, Josh Simmons if he's healthy, and then after them, I like Jalen Royals and Brashard Smith. Nothing against the other guys I didn't mention. I'm just saying in terms of this trifecta that I've looked at over the years, these are the players that, in my opinion, have the best chance to make an impact quickly on this Chiefs roster. Now's your chance to let me know down in the comments if you think I'm a dummy and if I got all that wrong. How do you feel about the draft picks? Do you think I missed one of the players? Do you think I undervalued one of the players? Just let me know down in the comments. And if you made it this far, hit that like button. I'm sure you're tired of hearing the guys mowing behind me. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm sorry if it disrupted your experience. But thank you all for sticking around, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. This is Gary signing out. Let me know down in the comments what you think.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.